Lights go down, the stage is set. Stories rise, we won't forget. Voice is strong, our culture's hard. From Dundas stage, the stories start. Curtain up, let history may sing. Dreams take flight on golden wings. Past and future take their bow. This is Dundas, starting now.
The lights dim. What does Dundas mean to you in one word and why?
We just said family.
Family. The curtains rise.
We want to just provide a platform for people to just push their imagination to the limits.
And a nation remembers who it is.
What Nicolette and I are really focused on is legacy building.
The lights dim. The curtains rise. And a nation remembers who it is. Welcome to Curtains Up, the Dundas story. A podcast documenting the history, the heart, and the future of the Bahamas' most treasured cultural space as it reopens its doors to the public. This isn't just about a building. It's about identity. It's about voice. And it's definitely about legacy. Welcome back to another episode of the Dundas story. Today we hear from the next generation of storytellers whose talent and passion are shaping the future of Bahamian theatre. As a young actress and director influenced by the Dundas, she represents the voices and creativity that will carry this cultural legacy forward. Let's go behind the curtain and talk about inspiration, opportunity, and what it means for young artists to find their voice on the Dundas stage. She is an actress and a director, and I have casted her in many, many of my plays. Welcome to the spotlight, Mistress Leah Forbes. Hey, Leah.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I'm
Awesome.
so thankful you took time to come into the podcast studio and talk to me.
Happy to be here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tell us about your journey, Leah, into acting and directing. How did you first become connected to Dundas?
So at 17 years old is when I really started to get my feet wet in commercial theater, right? Or traditional theater. That started with Ian Strawn's play at COB at the time, Jacinta and the Devil.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first taste of like actual stage play. Before that, there were always church productions that's the way how most Bahamians get introduced to acting and performances. But that was my first real taste, and I just got the bug after that. Following that, I tried my hand. I started building up confidence. I tried my hand and auditioned with James Catlin and Friends. And so I was a part of that troupe for a while as well. And again, building my confidence, because back then the Dundas always seemed like, you know, big leagues. Yeah. So the following year, I went over and I auditioned with the Dundas for a play. Unfortunately, I've been in so many plays now, I can't remember what my first play at the Dundas was.
You've literally been in so many plays, and I think James Catlin's where I saw you first, and I'm like, I want this girl on a stage. I think it was James Catlin, actually.
Yeah,
yes.
I can't remember my first production, but I know one of the first would have been You Can Lead a Horse to Water. The first, well, that was not the first. There's been many renditions, but for that time, that was one of my major productions that I remember being a part of at the Dundas. Philip Burrows directed it at the time, and I just remember coming into the Dundas and wanting to learn more, wanting to know more, and it really is a very welcoming space.
It is.
It feels like home, between Philip and Doc and Nico and Reds.
All of them.
All
like
of
a family.
them, right?
Yeah.
It really was a comfortable space where I felt like I could thrive and I could learn a lot and I could grow my craft.
Yes.
So that was my introduction to the Dundas.
We just touched on the late James Catlin. What play were you in with James Catlin?
Well, I was in one of the Summer Madnesses, the first play. Now you're causing me to dig up.
Yeah, let's dig up, because he had so many awesome plays. I don't even know if they're still carrying on the James Catlin Summer Madness, but it's such a legacy that we need to continue.
Summer Madness came back in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. The troupe is trying to pulled itself together and put it back on. Hopefully we'll do it again this year, but we definitely want to carry on his legacy.
I would love to see that, because right here where we are is going to be the James Catlin Amphitheater. So
yes.
let's definitely work with them to bring it back.
I always loved about him was, because I was fortunate enough to be a part of the troupe when he was alive, he always said, we laughing at we self.
We laughing at we self.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And you play another integral role in the Dundas. I remember after Dundas closed, it was you started a group with a bunch of young people who said, we're going to raise money to make sure this Dundas reopens. Tell me more about that.
Right. So there was a group, like you said, of young persons that came together, and we decided to start different fundraising initiatives. It really was born out of, every year we do the Shakespeare in Paradise Theatre Festival and the Short Tales Festival specifically. On any given year, we have over, I want to say, 20 individuals a part of that festival. It is usually the largest production that goes on at the Dundas. But I think that year we may have had about 30 persons, and that's just actors. And then, of course, you have tech and crew.
Yes.
And so we had a community meeting. Everybody sat down, and that's when we first got the news that without the necessary funding, the Dundas would close. And as you could imagine, everybody was just distraught. Everybody was just distraught. We were like, no, this can't happen. How do we stop this from happening? Yes. And so within that grouping, there were subgroups, different people with different ideas and different initiatives that they wanted to put forward. Yeah. And from that, we had the Dundas Black Box that ran for the Dundas Black Box open mic night that that ran for about a year and 2 to 3 months. They just had one last month, and that was really where members of the community could come, get reintroduced to the Dundas, and put on their own individual performances. We also had the Dundas Dollar Day, which was an initiative, if I'm not mistaken, Reds, Miss Adley would have birthed that, and we carried that over in addition to her. And so we had that initiative where we raised a significant amount of money. Yes. And after that, then we went into the Dundas Day of Play initiative, where we would have put on a fair after the Shakespeare in Paradise Festival last year to close it out. We also had, additionally, the other fundraising committee, they had a raffle that year.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, a big raffle. And then we had a Mardi Gras celebration. Yes. So we assisted, this smaller group would have assisted that larger group with all of those initiatives. So it really was a big year in terms of fundraising. And it was just beautiful to see so many different people from so many different places come together and so many different generations.
Yes, exactly. And I just love that, because it wasn't just faith you had. You didn't just have faith that Dundas would open. You put in the work to make sure you are contributing to Dundas opening.
Yeah, we all
did.
That. Yeah, we all did.
Yes, we did. But you definitely started and led that initiative for us. I know you're now working for Kappa, so I want to say congratulations, which is the first fine arts school. Yes. And you attended some of the Dundas UNESCO intensive and master classes. Yes. How important are these partnerships to train the future Orange community?
So they are extremely important. As Bahamians, we know that the opportunities here are very limited in terms of where you can go to get this sort of training. I have numerous friends and persons that I would have met through my time in acting and here at the Dundas and other spaces that they have a passion for the arts, but you can't study it here. Yep. You can't make a living off of it here, generally. Now you have some new persons who are coming up and they are making their way in these spaces. They're making a living off of it, and that is so amazing, and we're really happy for them. But if you wanted to study theater or music or dance, you would have had to go abroad. Yeah. And oftentimes when these extremely talented people go abroad, they get work.
Yeah. And they don't come back.
They don't come back. And when you compare salaries, you can understand why in a lot of times.
Yeah. And salaries and opportunities. It's very different,
Right. And then in the US, you have the benefit of some unions that help to protect persons and their acting and ensure that they have a fair wage, and they have things like insurance and other practices. And so I see these new opportunities like Kappa's as ways to build the infrastructure needed to have that sort of industry here.
Yes.
So you have to have professional training and show that this ain't just a hobby. Yes. This ain't just something you could pick up one day
and put down
and okay, now we acting. No, you learn techniques, you learn best practices, you learn how to speak properly, how to enunciate, and all of these different things, these other technical terms that I don't have that formal level of training, but I know that it's important. I've been blessed in a way in terms of my experiences and my acting where I'm very proficient, and at this point I could confidently say I am a fairly good actor.
Leah, you are an excellent actress. At one point you was like, everybody wants me to. I remember that. Everybody wants me to.
So at this point I could say that, but I count it as a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. A lot of that came from experience and great directors. Like Philip, like Dr. Bethel, like Ian, like James Catlin, and a slew of other persons, like yourself. You know, you really have, you and all of those other persons have helped me to grow as an actor. But when you are able to go to school, you get all of that base level. Nothing beats it, right? You get that foundation
to build on.
Right. Nothing beats experience, but you get the foundation that you need so that you're not starting from zero, and then it's not difficult for people to help to build you up.
Exactly, and you kind of help. I want to say create a path, because I know when I was since I was a teenager, I wanted to be an actress. But somebody told me, say, pick another career, and I picked accounting. Because it was no path that was later people could understand how to become an actress in the Bahamas. But now I think we had that path with CAPAS and UNESCO, and done this all partnering together to help
to get
grow
professional training, certifications that can be recognized here as well as abroad.
Exactly. Tell me about your play that you're currently directing at the Dundas, and it's one of the first plays to come after Dundas will be open. It's going to be coming. Yes.
So it's coming. It's going to be in the black box, but we're adjacent to the theater.
Right behind the main theater.
So we're celebrating with everybody who's in there this go around. But I am directing Steel Magnolias. We have a beautiful cast of women, and it is Women's Month. So we really want to encourage everybody, not just women, to come out, enjoy, celebrate with us as women, and really help to drive home the messaging in Steel Magnolias. It's a beautiful play. It's also a film.
I remember it's being a film.
Yes, it's also a really popular film, and it really follows the life of these 6 women and the trials that they go through, their wins, their losses, and how they overcome life's many challenges. And it's such a relative play, especially for this time, especially for this month, because we as women, we deal with a lot. We in the Bahamas tend to manage our households in a lot of spaces. Even sometimes when there is a husband there, we still have the task of really rearing our children, trying to teach them how to navigate life. I was talking to someone the other day. I say we have to teach our kids how not to get punched in the face when they become an adult. And so it really follows that story of 6 beautiful women. And it's an all-female cast. I'm directing it along with Julie Ritchie Bingham. And so it's really been exciting, and we're happy to have the women that we chose be a part of it. So we have Leslie Ellis-Tynes, we have Danielle. Forgive me for the last names. I'm not great with last names, but we have Danielle. We have Kenisha Adderley. We have Tegan. We have Bonnie Byfield, and then we also have. Oh, don't let somebody kill me today. We have Tegan, Kenny, Bonnie, Danielle. Oh, and then we have Yasmin Glinton.
Oh, that's awesome. I know we have Leslie here today who will be in the chair. So I just want to thank you, Leah, for just being here with us today. As we call Leslie the Spotlight, I just want to say you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you. We'll be right back.
Past and future take their bow. This is Dundas. Starting now.
We welcome Bahamian actress Leslie Ellis-Tynes into the spotlight. Hey, Les.
Hey.
How are you, girl?
Awesome. So excited to be here.
People know we're friends now. I think it's the second time we're together.
Right?
But you're here as an actress, and you're acting in such an important play that's coming up. Tell me about that play.
Steel Magnolias, well, it's a classic. It's a story from the 1980s. It's about friendship. It's about love, loss. People are going to laugh. They're going to cry. They're really going to be able to connect to the stories as well as the individual characters because it's a collection of ladies that just come together from all different walks of life, but they have an unspeakable and untouchable bond amongst themselves. So the hope is that we're able to capture that essence and be able to bring it forth on stage and have other people come and view it and connect with the story as well. So I encourage everyone, if they're familiar with the movie or have perhaps seen the stage play, come and see it. We're now putting it on at the Black Box at the Dundas.
Which dates? Tell us the dates.
So it's going to be March 20th and 21st. That's the first weekend. And the second weekend is the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Okay. So the first weekend is Friday and Saturday. The weekend after that is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, so come on out to the Black Box right behind the main theater.
Yes.
It does not just stop at the main theater. Come behind the main theater and see Steel Magnolias.
Yes.
So what character do you play, Les?
I play Clary. So if anyone is familiar with the story, she is the widow of the former mayor. But of course, we've adapted the story to Bahamian life and lifestyle. So I will be the widow of a minister, a former minister.
Former minister.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. While we have you here, do you remember the first time that you entered the Dundas building as either a performer or audience?
Absolutely. I'll never
time.
forget. It was as a child. The Dundas at that time used to have a very active repertory season, and my parents and family, we would come often to see plays at the Dundas. And I very, very much remember seeing James Catlin and Friends. That's where I got my first introduction into the world of theater. As well as, and yes, I'm going to date myself here, but back in the day, when Z&S was the only station,
Don't worry about it.
Z&S also carried James Catlin and Friends. And as a child, I remember watching James Catlin and Friends and Summer Madness. So by the time I became old enough, I knew for sure that I wanted to be a part of that world. I had the opportunity at the time to befriend Crystal Bethel. Hey, she doesn't live in the Bahamas anymore, but shout out to Crystal. She's doing her thing in the States as an actress and all that. But she was the one that actually got me into being a part of the James Catlin and Friends family. And from there, it just grew. I fell in love with it. But I'd always known that I loved acting and I wanted to be a part of the world of performance and creative the creative industries. So since then, you know, I've worked with other theater troupes and done work on stage, behind the scenes, film.
So much you can't even count.
Radio, you know, in front of the camera, behind the camera, you call it, you name it, I've done it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So how has the Dundas helped develop you as an actress over your journey?
Well, again, being able to be a part of a theater troupe, getting on stage, honing in on that craft, becoming more and more comfortable speaking in front of people, being able to project naturally so that people can hear you all the way back in, you know, the theater. There are skills that just came naturally, as well as over a period of time I was able to perfect. And truthfully, it's like anything in life. You're not really going to become an expert at anything until you get a chance to do it again and again and
practice.
again. Yeah, so I could more or less, I'm in a space now and at a stage in my life where I can even impart this knowledge on others.
Yeah, so you can definitely become a coach and a director and all of it. It's unlimited, okay? Unlimited.
Yes, on the way.
Why is it important? Why is it important for young creatives like ourselves in the Bahamas to have spaces like the Dundas to learn and perform?
Because you know what? It's an opportunity to just do something outside of your daily routine, your normal, everyday, routine, just to discover yourself. Especially for creatives, if there's something that you like to do whether it's with your hands, whether it's performance, whether it's writing. I always say performance is perhaps one of the most versatile industries and creative industries, because there's so many different facets of it. You don't have to just stop at being an actor,
yes,
or a director, or a writer. The fact that sets need to be built.
yes,
Sets need to be painted. They need to be designed.
yes.
They
Clothes need to be designed.
There's makeup, there's costuming. It's literally a world unto and within itself. So I would encourage anyone, if there is any type of skill set that you have with your hands, that you have with your creative juices, getting into theater and film, I'd say try it.
Yes.
Absolutely try it, because you'll even be surprised what you discover and what you learn about yourself.
Yes. How do you feel with the reopening of the Dundas? Like, how do you feel, and what does it mean to you as an actress?
So excited.
You ready to get back on that big stage?
Yes. Honestly,
yes.
it's been a long time coming. I crave the opportunity to be on that stage again, and then just look into the depth of the blackness.
Yes.
You know, knowing that you've got, 20 rows, however many, but
Like about
you're
over
reaching
300 seats.
all of those people. You know, I miss the days of performing in matinees when the theater was filled with, I believe the Dundas is it's over 300 seats.
Yes.
So having that theater filled with
the energy,
students,
yes.
exactly, and they're so excited, and you get to not only, you know, impart some knowledge on them and share a little bit of a revolutionary tale, but you're giving them entertainment and education at the same time. It is so fulfilling.
Yes.
And I am very much looking forward to not just student matinees, but whatever production it is that's going to fill that theater again, and having other production houses come as well and be a part of that. So yeah, truly looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I just said, I can't wait till the Dundas open. When the last time I was doing my production, I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
What is your hope for the future of theater and storytelling in the Bahamas?
I just hope that more and more people buy into it. I don't think enough of us Bahamians realize the impact that the creative industry,
The talent
has on a person. I think we tend to just stop at certain vocations and certain professions, not realizing that, again, coming back to what I said previously, theater and performance is an entire world. The possibilities are absolutely endless. I think right now, if someone is figuring, all I like to do is paint nails, that's something that you can actually
do that
be a part
in the creative
of this
community.
world.
Yes.
Exactly. So I just wish that more and more people would give it an opportunity, because I know, and just from experience, our community, we love to laugh, and everybody loves to laugh.
Yes.
I'm not knocking comedy by any means, but we have to also realize that as humans, we also have other stories out there to be told. Let's not be so much afraid of the other stories,
The drama.
that can be told. I think sometimes people are slightly intimidated by knowing that a particular story can mirror perhaps something that they're experiencing or that they're going through, and they may want to shy away from it. But give it an opportunity. Allow yourself to be entertained. Allow yourself to possibly even be informed of something that you didn't know. Allow yourself the chance to reach out to someone and touch and change and support.
Yes, and if the story is something you went through, allow yourself to be healed, because that could be the start. What will jumpstart your healing.
Exactly.
Yes.
And grow.
Yes.
So yeah, my hope is simply that people give it a chance. Come on out, continue to support theater, not just things that are happening at other local theaters, but here at the Dundas, Mackey Street, right next to the Ranfilly Home for Children, because it's amazing.
Some people don't know. They like, is Dundas still around? Yes, we are still around.
We've been here for years. As long as they've been there, we've been here. But yeah, we're right here on Mackey Street, opposite the Learning Resources section.
Yes.
But yeah, we're right here. Give it a try. You'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised.
Yes, all of what she said. Every generation brings new energy, creativity, and perspective to the stage. And as we've heard here today, the Dundas continues to inspire young artists to dream bigger and tell stories that matter. The future of the Bahamian Theatre is bright with Leslie, Leah, myself, and all of us here at the Dundas. And it's being written also by voices like yours. So Leslie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking time with your rehearsals to come to the podcast with me. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you're doing in the acting community.
Thank you. It's been fun.
And to our viewers, when the lights dim and the curtain rises at the Dundas, we are witnessing not just a performance, but the continuation of a cultural legacy. Subscribe to our Dundas podcast on our YouTube channel. And remember, I am your host, Michaella Forbes. This has been Curtains Up, the Dundas story. And reminder, Steel Magnolias is March 20th to March 21st and March 26th to March 28th at the Black Box.
Voice is strong, our culture's hard. From Dundas stage, the stories start. Curtain up, let history may sing. Dreams take flight on golden wings. Past and future take their bow. This is Dundas, starting now.